Hey everyone, it's a touch calmer this week, but not by much. We've got some major releases for card games and miniatures, as well as some heavy hitting board games to boot. So with that being said, let's just jump right in. Right folks, let's start off this video the same way we did last week, with what's going on in both stores this week. As with last week, we'll start off with Preston first, before looking at what's going on in Blackpool next. So first of all, this is what's going on in Preston Monday to Friday every week. So this Saturday at Harlequins Preston, we have nothing on. I know, shocking right? But this gives you guys a prime chance to come down and play any game you wish without fear of disturbing a tournament. Make the most of this great opportunity, and remember we have no table charge, so it's completely free to come and play in Harlequins. Sunday at Harlequins Preston, we have an X-Wing monthly tournament. It's a 10 AM registration for an 11 AM start. The entrance fee is £10, with top players receiving £30 store credit, along with the usual FFG promos and prize support. If you wish to know what the other positions receive, or for further information, please visit the website. Now let's see what Harlequins Blackpool is up to. And this is what's going on Monday to Friday every week in Blackpool. This Saturday, we have an X-Wing casual organised play. Starting from 1:30 PM, this free-to-enter event has no prizes, but it's just an excuse for you guys to get together and have some fun. Also on Saturday, we have a Magic the Gathering standard PPTQ. This is an 11 AM registration for a 12 PM start. The entrance fee is £15, with top prize being awarded a £100 cash prize. Again, if you wish to know what the other positions receive, or for further info, please visit the website. And lastly on Saturday, we have a flash sale going on. With Christmas coming up and so many new releases coming out, we need to clear some shelf space for more shiny things for you guys. So we're doing a flash sale. With many lines being discounted, with some up to 50% off, this is a great way to get a few cheap Christmas presents that everyone will enjoy. And lastly on Sunday, we have Living Card Games, Dragon Ball Z, Super Card Game, and Pokemon. These three events are just casual come down and plays designed to get people with the same interests in the same place. No entry fees or specific start times, just come down and play. If you wish to know more about a particular system, please check our website. And that ends what's going on this week in both stores. So let's kick off with Pokemon. We have a major release for Pokemon in the form of Sun and Moon Lost Thunder. Combining new and classic Pokemon, this huge set is over 210 cards. With a host of new GX and Ultra Pokemon, new trainer cards, and a sprinkle of powerful Prism cards, this set is sure to make a huge splash in the Pokemon playing and collecting scenes. Boosters will be £3 each, or £90 for a booster box. At the same time as these releases, there will also be themed decks at £12 each and elite trainer boxes at £38, but quantities are limited, so contact us sooner rather than later to avoid disappointment. Also released at the same time for Pokemon, we have Island Guardians GX Premium Collection. Featuring premium foil cards for Tapu Lele GX and Tapu Fini GX, as well as a full-sized rubber-backed playmat, 8 booster packs and more. Harlequins price £47. And lastly for Pokemon, we have Dragon Majesty Collection Ultra Necrozma GX. This box set includes a foil promo Ultra Necrozma GX and an oversized version, along with 4 Dragon Majesty boosters. Harlequins price £19. Moving on, we have the next major release for the Final Fantasy TCG in the form of Opus 5. This substantial release sees another 216 cards added to the budding young card game. With gorgeous artwork and interesting mechanics, this will be a great set for players and collectors both. Packs are £3.70 each, or £95 for a box. Next up, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Zombie Horde Structure Deck. Built around the Zombie World field spell, this themed deck is right up your alley for all things zombie. Harlequins price £7.50. Lastly for card games, we have Magic the Gathering Guilds of Ravnica Guild Kits. Whilst these Guilds of Ravnica themed decks aren't standard legal, they are great fun in their own right and a really efficient way of getting a number of older Ravnica and Return to Ravnica cards. Each one is themed to a different guild and they are £18 each. These are hotly sought after, so get them while you can. Upcoming for card games, we have a half set coming out for Cardfight Vanguard. V Extra Booster 3 Ultra Rare Miracle Collection will see support for Angel Feather, Gold Paladins and Neo Nectar clans. This 66 card set is scheduled for a December release at £4 a booster. Oh, this is a doozy. The third edition of the greatly loved Arkham Horror franchise has landed with a bang. Or a bump in the night, take your pick. This changes so much of the traditional gameplay of Arkham Horror series, whilst at the same time staying true to its roots. It still has a very similar move, investigate, fight mechanic, but the board has been completely redesigned. The encounter decks are now individual to your location, giving you a much more focused thematic experience, and overall the game is much more streamlined and focused. This release looks to be a much bigger shift in mechanics than even the Eldritch Horror was to the last version of Arkham Horror, so I'm expecting great things from this one. One of the things I found most shocking in this age of £90 board games is that at Harlequins price, this is only £54. Maybe you have to pay the remainder with your sanity? Wow, remember this? I mentioned this game all the way back in episode 2 as one to keep an eye on, and as I've been eagerly waiting, I've found out more about this charming game. This game is part of Fantasy Flight's unique game series. This means that it is a game where, like the also hotly anticipated Keyforge, no two copies are alike. There will be core components which will be the same in every box. For example, rulebook, the knight reference and combat support decks, as well as counters and survivor figures. After that is where paths diverge. Player characters, terrain, quests, enemies, crafted items and more are unique to each box. So whereas I might be a wildlife photographer on expedition tracking big cats in a jungle environment, you might be a stranded lumberjack who bumps into some native tribesmen in a desert region. This brilliantly intelligent design means that we could both buy and play the same game and have very different stories to tell. I've heard some concerns that people think that this is so that you will be forced to buy multiple copies, and whilst you probably could do that, I don't get that impression from what has been said and shown so far. This game's price point, combined with its high quality and quantity of contents, tells me that you get more than enough to have adventures over and over again, so you should never feel any pressure or need to buy an additional copy. The unique aspect of the game merely allows you to have a truly individual experience that I for one am frothing at the mouth to get my hands on. Harlequins price £50. Lastly, for board game new releases this week, we have the new Fallout expansion set in New California. Fallout received praise the other year for its high production quality and cleverly designed story-driven system, but due to a couple of failings, failed to hit truly outstanding status. However, for those that enjoyed the journey rather than the destination, this was and is a gem in the rough. The new expansion sets to right some wrongs of the base game, whilst at the same time adding more playable characters, NPCs, items, locations, scenarios, and more. I own Fallout and appreciate what it attempted to do, which is to say, bring a solo video game experience to a group tabletop setting. I really enjoy wandering around having adventures of my own whilst listening to the other adventures of my friends. So I for one will be buying this expansion, and I look forward to seeing how it allows us to tell even grander stories. Harlequins price £35. Upcoming for board games, we have Carcassonne Safari. This standalone game sees players going on safari to try and see as many animals as they can find. This is the fourth title in the Around the World series and has a $38.99 RRP and a mid-November release date. And lastly, for upcoming board game releases, we have the Time Stories expansion called Madame. This is the 10th scenario in the Time Stories line, and this time the game is set in Versailles, France in 1673. This is looking to be a $21.99 RRP and is scheduled for a December release. Thankfully, Corvus Belli are taking a break this week before their release of Third Offensive in a couple of weeks, which is just as well because GW shows no signs of letting up. We have all the items that I mentioned on last week's show up for release this week, so that is a whole host of Orky releases. We have the brand new Orc Codex, £20 at Harlequins price, as well as Orc data cards, £9 at Harlequins price. We also have the Orc themed dice, Harlequins price £11. Supporting the Codex's release, we have a number of Orc vehicles being released. We have
the Rocket Truck Squig Buggy, the Mega Truck Scrapjet, the Fed Killer War Trike, and the Boomdacker Schnaz Wagon.
All are £22 each at Harlequins prices. There is also a scenery piece, the Mech Workshop, which is £22.50 at Harlequins price. Upcoming new releases for Games Workshop show us a quiet period for next week. Scheduled for release the week of the 10th of November is the highly demanded and sought after Space Marine Hero series. That was, until recently, only available in Japan. This blind backstar product has an RRP of £5 each and will give you one of 12 unique Space Marine Hero models. There are also a couple of minor hobby tool releases. The hugely popular painting handle was bought in its thousands earlier this year, but now they are releasing two variants of it. The first is the Painting Handle XL, which is the large version of the painting handle meant for large base models such as dreadnoughts. It has an RRP of £8. The second variant comes with arms not dissimilar to soldering helping hands, so that you can paint multiple parts at once, or hold a model together to paint, before gluing it together later on. Recommended retail price £12. Other than them, we also have the Warhammer 40,000 Sector Imperialis Scenery Set, RRP £80, a Derelict Factorium set at RRP £60, and for Warhammer Age of Sigmar an Azurite Townscape, RRP £32.50. As usual, we don't have pictures, so if you want to see some, then head over to Warhammer Communities page. As I mentioned at the beginning of the miniatures section, there is no new releases for Infinity this week, but remember, the cut-off date for pre-orders for 3rd Offensive is the 4th of November, so if you are interested in this great book, get your orders in. And that concludes the news and new releases for this week. Whew, told you we had a lot to get through. Well anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video today folks, and if you did, be sure to like, share and subscribe. Also keep an eye out for our first impressions videos coming up later in the week. Until next time though folks, thanks for watching.